G'day folks, welcome back to another one of Holmesy's Adventures. Today's video we're having a little bit of a ride with the boys. The main focus will be on Jake's, my son's, new KTM 300 TPI. Let's go and have a look. So we're in a undisclosed place for a ride today, shall I say, and this is what we're going to be looking at today. Jake's had about, I think, 3 or 4 rides on it, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about that later on today, and we'll see what he reckons. He's coming off a WR 450 to the KTM 300. That's a 2-stroke. The other one was a 4-stroke. We'll talk to him about why he changed, the difference between the two bikes. I might go for a spin on it, see what it's like. It's been a while since I've been on a 2-stroke myself. I'm on the old Honda 450, first time in about 12 months since I broke my leg. I think this is the first actual ride I've been on the old girl since I did that. And Jesse's on his 27 KTM 4-stroke. What are they? SXF. So we're going to go out and have a little ride, try and get some footage for you. So today's video is about a little bit of footage out here, mainly the KTM 300. Later on we're going to go back to Heathcote HQ. We're going to cook a pork and a lamb on a spit tonight, just in some rolls, have a bit of fun around the fire, and we'll see if we can come up with a bit of a video for you to watch. And I need to have a bit of a talk to you later on about this bloody camper. We've got problems. Anyway, let's get out on the track. Oh, how's that for a stall? Not used to it. Good start. All right, out on the tracks. Perfect conditions. Rained last night really hard, but the tracks out here are so dry they just absorb a lot of the water, but no doubt there'll be puddles. So as I was saying, Jake bought himself that KTM 300 while we were in heavy lockdown, and opportunity to come out for a ride, and we might get a bit of footage of him going up some hills and doing some stuff on it, and it gives me an opportunity to get out on this old girl and basically have a bit of fun. So there you go. Anyway, I'll get this bike warmed up and myself warmed up, and I'll come back to you. Yeah! Bloody rocky. I've lost Jake. Wow, I've forgotten how rocky that is. That's the way it's done, guys. Now that was about, I think, 4 or 5 goes just to get that take that you watched. He's puffing because he's done it 4 or 5 times. I'm puffing because I walked it. So yeah, pretty good conditions out here. You can see he's really enjoying the bike. We might go down and have a bit of a chat to him. Welcome back, folks. Jake's just having a bit of a rest now from doing that hill multiple times for me to try and get the right shots. Okay, Jake, brand new KTM 300. What year is it? This is a 2022 model. 2022 TPI. Yep, fuel injected 2-stroke. For those that don't understand what TPI is, what is it? It's transport injection. So that is a 2-stroke that is now fuel injected. We'll talk about some hassles that we had at the start with that shortly. Okay, so you've got a KTM 300, yep. 2022 model, TPI model. Before you had that, you had a WR 450, yep. which was a 4-stroke. Yep. Why did you change? So obviously you guys would have watched the Kenda Rally video back in May. That was my first ever big ride sort of rally on that bike. Really good bike. I actually rode it quite well, but when I was doing the rally, all I could think about is how heavy that bike is. I'm only an 80 kilo rider, and that bike was roughly 135 kilos. So when I got into some sticky situations, it could be a bit hard for me. So I decided to sell it. And always wanted a KTM 300 2-stroke. Never had a 2-stroke in my whole life. Like, why not give it a go? Knew they were a light bike. This bike is running at 106 roughly wet weight, so full of oil, full of fuel. And for my weight, I find this is a way better, easier bike for challenging hills, turn around on, and just reckon it's gonna make me a better rider, to be honest. So really enjoying it. Give it 5 stars straight off the bat. Lovely bike. Okay, so what was the problems we experienced with it when you first bought it and you thought your bike was rat shit from the word go, but it actually wasn't? So like I said, I've never owned a 2-stroke before. I always grew up on 4-strokes, the mini bikes. And then so always had 4-strokes. Then I got this fuel injected 2-stroke. So to be honest, didn't really know what I was doing at the start. What I was doing was I took it out for 2 rides just in a local area, local state forest. And this actually has idle screw. So when you take the bike off the trailer, you have to start the bike up before you gear up, before you do anything else, and have that idle screw on for the whole time until you're ready to ride it. So all that means is it's just running at higher revs and it's not sending as much oil. It's not sending in too much oil, so it's not found the plug. What I was doing wrong, as soon as I'd start it up, I'd treat it like a 4-stroke and turn that tap straight off. So by the time I jumped on it, it found the plug straight away. I thought it was a manufacturing issue. I got a bit shitty, realised I was just doing something wrong. Spoke to a local friend that knows these bikes inside and out, rectified the issue, haven't had an issue since. Beautiful. So, okay, so if you didn't quite get that, this bike has a separate oil reservoir through the frame where you put your oil, so you don't have to mix your fuel yourself through the petrol tank or in a jerry can like you did with the old 2-strokes. You don't have to lift it off. That's where the oil thing is there. So there is an indicator warning light to let you know when that's going to run out. But basically what he's saying there is the bike mixes the oil to the fuel itself. So when he was talking about that screw, you have that out, you have it on high revs, and because the bike's cold, it needs a lot of oil in the cylinder to lubricate that while it's first revving and while it's getting warm. And what was happening was, we were in COVID situation and he was very happy to have the bike, and what do you do when you got something new? Your mates come around and you start the bike for them and you rev it a couple of times and you're pretty happy with yourself. Anyway, he went out to wash it. After he washed it, he went out to start it and it just wouldn't start, and that's when he thought it was stuffed. There was something wrong with it. He got a bodgy one. So long story short, you can't go starting these just to show your mates or just to start it up for 5 minutes after you wash it, because what it does is when you first turn it on when it's cold, the electronics give the cylinder a heap of oil so you don't damage that cylinder when it's cold. And then if you turn it off, you haven't burnt that oil away straight away because you haven't gone off for a ride. So when you go to start it next, you got all this excess oil around the plug. It won't start because it's fouled up. So long story short, only start them up when you're going to ride them, because they warm up, they get that hit of oil that they need while they're cool, and then when you go for a ride and you start using a bit of power, you burn that oil away, and then the plug becomes clean and runs like it should. So if you've got this TPI model in the KTM 300, and the Husqvarna would be exactly the same, don't rev them up, don't start them up for your mates and rev them, because you ain't going to foul the plug. Okay, we'll get back to you. Okay, Jesse's having his first try. Very good. Up. Bit more on the gas, mate. That's all right, you went well. Hang on, just take it easy. Yeah, you've got to keep that momentum going, mate. Once you get up over that step, that's when it's time to gas it, all right? All right, we'll come back to you on the second try. Okay, turning around for go number 2. Keep it on. Nice and smooth. Certainly different from riding the 790. Rightio. Just go and pick up my jacket when I get out of this shit. I was just saying to the boys, that was the first, like I said to you earlier on, I haven't been on this baby for over a year, so it's certainly different from the KTM 790. you know, it bounces you around a lot more, and there's a lot more activity going on when you're trying to get up these things. So I'm going to put my jacket back on and we're going to go for a bit of a look around. I'll come back to you soon, folks. Whoa! Too busy recording. And I mucked it up myself. So back down I go. That's the thing. You record and I was just saying to the YouTube audience, you film and you sort of try to get the shot and you muck up yourself. So I just went off to the left and headed towards the log, so I bailed out and we'll have another run. And of course, when you stuff up, it's sometimes worse coming down. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Just took a bit of energy that I didn't have. Try again. That's a better line. The young fella's throwing rocks at me. We'll go over this way. I'm looking for another track now. This gone bush. Now, there was a track here somewhere. Everything's a little bit overgrown because of this bloody lockdown situation. Here we go. I think this looks like the track. Yeah. Beautiful. Not much of a track, but it's there. I used to just fly down this, standing up in about third gear, but not today. Welcome back, folks. Just got down to the bottom of the hill there after my little episode of trying to get up that last one, and we've just stopped at the bottom of the hill for a bit of a rest, and Jake said, do you want to go for a ride, Dad? So I've just hopped on the rice burner and we'll go for a bit of a spin. Feels nice and throaty. So I thought I'd take you along for the ride and give you some running commentary. Straight away, the lightness. You just feel the lightness straight away of what this is. Oh yeah, real. I tell you, words can't explain getting off that Honda onto this. Lightness, just can't explain it. That is nice, really nice. Suspension feels good, as it would on a KTM, and I'm not being biased because I'm running a KTM myself, but pretty rocky around here. Call it a licorice all sorts, I do, because you got dry, you got rocky shaly, and a lot of greasy slippery stuff, so a licorice all sorts. But yeah, it steers nice. It's not heavy at all in the front. I notice I'm doing something because I'm purely used to it. I'm using the clutch to change gears. I didn't then, but because on a 4-stroke, naturally that's what you do. I just looked down then because I'm finding it hard to grab the back brake. But that's a me thing, it's not set up for me. And the boots I've got, they're not as good as my old ones. So, yeah, I'm liking it. Yeah, I'm having trouble finding that back brake though. Bloody terrific. Overshot the corner. Back brake issue, even though I'm using plenty front. I'm one of those riders that likes to have a dabble in both of me brakes. I like to of course use the front as about 80%, but I just like giving that back brake a little tap before a corner. So, don't know if you can see that. That's the display down there. Little digital reading. What I like about 2-strokes is the sound. Of course, the horsepower. Front just comes up beautiful. Still having trouble finding that back brake, and I tell you what, Jake was right in saying when he goes on his next Kenda rally, this is going to be a whole lot easier on him as far as hills and stuff go, because it's just, the bike's just so light, 100 kilos, but it's got the grunt, suspension, brakes. I can see why they're a popular bike. Anyway, I won't keep recording because otherwise the video will get a bit too boring with me just crapping on ears. So until something good comes, I'll come back to you. Well, there you go. That was a lot of fun. KTM 300 2022 model. A bloke could get used to that sort of fun. But how much was it?
Nearly 18,000.
For 18,000, I'll just borrow me son's. Good fun, but I'll go back to the old Honda because if I come off it, I won't upset anybody. But really enjoyable. I think Jess is going to have a ride, going to swap around a bit, so I won't tape too much out on the bikes. I'll save a bit for later on. We're back out the old Heathcote HQ. I'll catch you back there. See you later. The black hole. Plenty of yabbies in there. Following the young folks. Jesse's on the 300. Jake's back on the 250 SXF, which is Jesse's, and I'm back on the old Honda. As soon as I got up that KTM, you can feel the weight of this one. I mean, it's not bad, but big difference to the other one. The old fella can't keep up with the youngies anymore. We've got to concentrate. They know the tracks. They're a bit better than me. They love it, they just love going fast. Suppose I did too. I'll hear about this tonight at the campfire. We whipped your ass, Dad. Where were you? Playing it smart. Good fun. Track conditions are really good. When you see a puddle, it's not too bad. Try and reel him in a bit on the straight. The lads get me on the corners. Playing it safe. Too safe maybe. The old eyesight's not as good as theirs. Reaction time. Losing sight of the track now. At least I can see their track marks. Beautiful, good track. Excellent. Give me a run for me money, boys. That was good fun. You were quick through there.
Yeah, I know. Fuck, I was feeling good. I just didn't fucking play.
I've got it filming, so I'm going to turn off now. We just got to the top of this real bastard hill. Jesse's had a go. Good effort, because it's pretty steep. He's just down there, so I'm not going to come down quick. But what stuffed him, and it almost stuffed me, is this branch is not usually across the track. And that's made things more difficult. That made things more difficult. You alright? Yeah. Didn't hurt yourself? Need to get rid of those branches. Oh. Yeah, so as you can see, you won't see it on the camera, but this thing is pretty steep. And it's just full of rocks. So, and with the winds, there's more technical. Oh, just spinning. There's more technical sessions, technical situations when you want to go up. So he's coming back down. I'll take him to a bit of an easier one. Hopefully he's right, but good effort, because I had my work cut out for me as well. More casualties. We just went up to go another hill. Again, branches falling down. Jake tried to go around it, but just too slippy. Maybe we should try and go up the top and come down them first because there's bloody trees down everywhere. Would have made it no worries, but yeah, good old trees. Anyway, come back to you. Yep, he's got it. No. Yep, he saved it. Well done. You've got to take the safety off, cockhead.
Get out of my way, fuck you. Gets it, bang.
Good shot.
Yeah.
As you can see, folks, I've just put on the pork and the lamb, having a little bit of fun near the fire. I thought I'd come back in here because there's a little bit of swearing. It's a bit windy too, so anyway, I'll give you a progress report. We're just having a few drinks and let the meat cook, and as the meat turns and gets a nice bit of colouring on it, we'll come back to it and hook in later. I have to make some garlic bread and some other stuff, so come back to you.
You don't have no self-respect. You feel like an insect. Oh, don't you worry, buddy, cause
Don't need to say any words. Well guys, dinner is served. I'll call the troops in. There's a bit of garlic bread, some pizza which was bought but it's left over and I want to get rid of it. And we've got some lamb and pork, chicken wings, coleslaw, tomato cheese and some rolls. I'll call the troops in and we'll have a feed. Come back to you. Morning everyone, Sunday morning. Good night last night. I didn't take too much video footage of the roast and that, but worked out well. We had just meat and rolls with a bit of salad, coleslaw. Just cleaning up now really, just had an egg and bacon for breakfast and clean up and go home, but RDO tomorrow, so that's good for me. So I'm going to do that, and I still need to talk to you a little bit about the camper. I'll come back to you. Okay, welcome back guys. Camper, it's a non-goer. This is what's happened. The camper was due probably next week. I rang up this week to find out when I'd be receiving it, and they said it was 3/4 built, ready to go, and they said we've got a problem. So when I ordered the camper, I ordered it and it came with a package of $7,000 worth of extras. So this was a lumberjack she oak camper, very nice little pod unit, and part of that $7,000 extra was air conditioning, heater, better tyres on the trailer, hot water service, shower, you know, bits and pieces that added up to $7,000. Anyway, when I said, how was the progress going on my camper? They said, we've got a problem. The air conditioning exchange won't fit in the fridge slide at the front. I said, oh, okay. Well, that was a $2,500 item. I said, okay, you didn't check your R&D and do all this before you took my money? And I didn't get much of an answer. However, I said, okay, what's done is done. If you can't fit the air conditioning, will you drop the $2,500 off the total price of the van? And I'll worry about something else later. And they said no. So when they said no, I saw red a bit and I thought, well, they're not even going out of their way to apologise here or make things easier. So I kind of said that I didn't want it if it didn't have air conditioning, but I slept on it overnight because I was just pondering and trying to work out what I wanted to do, because now it's too late to sort of order a camper this time of year. I ordered this in April and I was supposed to receive it probably this week, so that's how long it's taken to get made with the COVID and all that. So I rang them up the next morning and I suggested on the front there was a fridge slider, a box, and on that box at the front there was a lot of room or area to put another box on top. And I said, how about we put a tradies toolbox on top, one of those aluminium ones, and we fit the air conditioning exchange in the top of that, and you could plumb it in from the top and bring it down through the wall. And they didn't like that idea either, and they gave me excuses. There's electricians, plumbers, and it was just bullshit excuses. So in the end, long story short, I've cancelled the camper. I got my refund back of my deposit, and looks like I'm not going to have a camper for this summer. So a bit disappointing, because I really wanted to sort of show you what I'd ordered. I'll put some pictures in at the end of what it looked like, at least, so you could see. But for me it's disappointing because I'm going to be swagging it on my camp trips over summer. So anyway, it is what it is, and no camper for me. So I'm going to leave the video there. Thanks again for joining me. Hope you got something out of the video, a little bit of riding, a little bit of stuff around the campfire, and a summary of what happened to the camper. Until next time, I'll see you later.